The HA capabilities of the Big IP system are implemented in a feature called Device Service Clustering, or DSC. An essential element of DSC is the device group, which consists of multiple Big IP systems that can share configuration data and in some cases fail over to one another. The most common DSC deployment consists of two identical Big IP systems in a device group that is commonly referred to as an active standby pair. At any given point in time, one of the Big IP systems is actively processing traffic, while the other is standing by, monitoring the heartbeat of the active system and ready to take over in a matter of moments in the event the heartbeat stops. If the active system fails and its heartbeat stops, the standby system immediately takes over traffic processing, often with little or no visible impact to clients and servers. When the failed system recovers, it comes up in standby mode and begins monitoring the active system's heartbeat. The best time to implement an active standby pair is when you are initially setting up new Big IP systems and configuring them to sit on your network. Before actually pairing the systems, there are some preparation activities you should carry out. First, you must configure the management interface. You should license and provision the same modules on each system, and both systems must be running the same Big IP software and hotfix version. You should ensure that the device certificates installed on each system are valid and up to date. An expired certificate on either system can cause problems during the pairing process. You should give each system a host name. This is one of the pieces of information that will be used to uniquely identify each system in the pair. You must synchronize the system clocks between the two systems and set the appropriate time zone. F5 recommends that you use an NTP server to do this. A discrepancy of anything more than a minute can cause the pairing process and ongoing device group operation to fail. You should configure the networks on both Big IP systems, including VLANs and self-IPs. F5 recommends configuring a dedicated VLAN for HA communication, and both systems must be configured on the same HA VLAN. Once these tasks are completed, you should create a UCS archive of each system. You can use the Big IP system's GUI or command line to manually perform these activities. The Setup utility wizard does many of these, and you can even use it to configure an active standby pair. Configuring an active standby pair can be summarized in 4 basic steps. First, on each system, you must identify the self-IPs that the system will use for synchronizing configuration data, mirroring connections and persistence data, and for failover heartbeat monitoring. Before Big IP systems will sync configuration data and fail over to one another, they must establish a trust relationship known as device trust. This is done by discovering a peer system and then signing and exchanging device certificates with it. With device trust established, you can now create a failover type device group that includes both systems. During this step, one of the two systems will become active for traffic processing, while the other will assume the standby role. After establishing the failover device group, traffic processing configuration data, such as virtual servers and addresses, pools, monitors, and profiles, needs to be synchronized between the two systems. Initial synchronization is accomplished by pushing the desired end configuration from one system to the other in an operation known as config sync. At this point, your active standby pair should be fully operational and ready to begin testing for application delivery.